he went? Where's he went?
You got it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday, this Sunday, April the 19th. I hope you've all done your taxes, because if you didn't, you're late, and the IRS man is going to come get you.
Oh, no.
There's no IRS man. They fired them all, remember?
That's right. I am your host, I'm Roland Man. I'm excited to be here. We have a fun show planned out for you tonight. We have an exciting guest that I cannot wait to start peppering him with questions all about him, his career, and the answers to the universe. That's just what we're going to do tonight.
42.
That's right. Awesome. Absolutely. He won. Show's over, guys. He got it.
Yep. Good night. You guys have a good one.
Let me write that down.
As always, I am with mild annoyance himself, Mr. Tom Mason. Say hi, Tom.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Jose. We didn't get a chance to talk for the show, so hello again.
Hello.
And we are with trying to have a good time himself, Mr. Thomas Flormani Jr. Say hi, Tommy.
Howdy do. Howdy do.
And stepping in just in the nick of time, we are joined by, of course, the colorist supreme herself, Miss Roberta Conroy. Say hi, Roberta.
Hello.
How you doing tonight?
Good.
That's good. Before I get to our guest, I'm going to remind everyone that we have a crowdfunder going, and as you can see here, we are 69% of the way there. We've got 16 days to go.
Excellent adventure.
Covers you can choose from. I think there's still original art left. Let me see what kind. Oh, no, that one's gone. Okay, so Tommy's inks are still available for cover B. And his inks are still available for cover C. And that's it. That's it for the original art.
That's the only art that we have for the
other pieces are gone. So if you missed it, you can still do the catch up. You can still do the physical catch up, or you can do the digital catch up. Whatever is your choice. But before I get out of there, I got to show you this, because we didn't have the foils when we built the campaign, but we have this nifty image now. You guys can see what the foil covers look like. Check these out.
Oh,
Shiny.
Right?
That's a handsome hand too. Whose hand?
They look pretty. Yeah, I don't know. Fingernails look dirty.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, look at that. We even got a thumbs up.
Oh, what's that in there? Is that what the book looks like?
So that is that can be found on silverlinecomicscrowdfunder.com. Get over there, back it, help us get to the goal. Like I said, we were 69% of the way there. We've got 16 days. I'm talking with Ron now. We're gonna work up some stretch goals because we are feeling good about it. We're feeling good about making the goal. So we want to get over there and come up with some stretchy things that we can get. Anybody else have news? Matt Likes Comics says, nice. Thanks, Matt.
I have no news.
No news.
No
Says,
news.
hey, everybody. Well, everything is going to be news from you tonight. So, all right. Well, I am happy to announce, y'all, tonight our guest is Jose Marzan Jr. He's got 41 years. He doesn't look it. He's got 41 years in the comic book industry. He's worked for folks like DC and Marvel and Dark Horse and Disney. Some of the things that he's done, you probably should know. He's worked on things like The Flash, Adventures of Superman, Why the Last Man, which, probably more of my students have read Why the Last Man than any of the other books, super books listed here. Yeah. Here's a cool thing. He received a couple of Eisner Awards, and we'll have to talk about those, Jose, as we go along here. I had the opportunity to meet him and his lovely family last year at Heroes Con, where we were neighbors at the show, and we had a well, let me rephrase that. I had a great time. I can't speak for Jose, but
I had a good time.
my wife was with me, and our wives talked a whole bunch of the time. So, Matt, someone dropped the link. What do you want the link for the crowdfunder?
Yes, he does.
Let me do that. Is www.silverline.
You only met half the family.
Oh, okay.
That was half. There's more, and they'll be there this year.
Okay, all right. Well, I am looking forward to that. I mean, I don't. This was my first year there, so I have no idea.
Oh, really? Okay.
Put me back in the same place or not.
There's got to be a whole sitcom where an artist takes his whole family from convention to convention in some kind of bus.
I'm doing that. I'm doing that the entire month of June.
Are you really?
Yeah.
A lot of shows.
We're doing Heroes, and then we're doing Anaheim.
Whoa! What a drive! Now, so I'm not asking for your postal address, but you live in Florida, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm
you're
down the street from you.
Florida to North Carolina, and then you're going to drive from North Carolina.
No.
Okay.
No, we're driving to Heroes, and then we come home, and then we fly to LA.
Okay. All right. I was going to say that's quite the drive.
It's better for the sitcom if you drive.
Yeah.
Maybe I can do a Kickstarter or something, but that's
maybe walk.
That'd be fun. That's crazy. We had a good time. I was excited to be at Heroes Con. I was invited to go to Heroes Con back in the 90s. But I was trying to put this together with my wife before we went out there last year, and that was the year that we got pregnant. And my daughter was due in right at the time of the show. She came early, so I could have gone.
Not to hold a grudge or anything,
right? Yeah, but so I didn't get to go, and then I just never reached back out to Shelton again until just very recently.
Okay.
And I had a blast. It is everything it is everything that people say it is. And Jose, maybe were you going to San Diego in the early 90s?
I had been to San Diego, I think, in the early 90s or late 80s, probably early 90s.
Okay.
But I didn't work it. I just popped my head in, said hello to editorial people, and then went to do the zoo and the beach and things like that.
You were a tourist. You weren't a comic guy. You were a tourist.
Yeah, and I've never worked San Diego. Okay.
Heroes Con reminds me a lot of San Diego Con in before it went all media.
Yeah.
And for us comic book geeks, that's just fantastic. It's just a great show. But let's rewind the clock, go all the way back to little Jose. What is you like that, Roberta?
No, I think it's fun how you go all the way back.
What is the very first comic you remember reading?
Reading?
Yes. What is the very first comic in your memory?
I remember having a Superman. See, I remember the cover. I remember having it, but I don't remember reading it. And that was that was the Superman where he's turning into diamonds. It's a Nick Cardy cover, probably early to mid 70s, something like that. And he's kind of,
curse you diamonds,
cursing the gods because he's turning into diamonds or he's freezing or something. The one I remember reading was probably Captain America. Oh my God. I don't know the numbers. It's one of the that's the one. That's the Superman one.
Yeah.
Remember reading a Captain America. It's somewhere around the Nomad Frank Robbins issues.
Okay. Yeah.
And that one's got the Submariner in it.
Okay. Yeah. Steve Englehart stories.
Yeah. And that particular issue is by Sal Buscema.
Okay.
And then I just, when you're a kid, it's just dumb luck that you find another subsequent issue later. Right. I remember I was sick, and my mom brought me home some markers or coloring book or drawing paper or something, and that Captain America. It might be mixed in with, I don't know the dates. I kind of get them.
Right.
So it's either the Captain America, the Superman, there's Werewolf by Night number 4. Annual, not annual, giant size.
Nice.
And what was the other book around that time? There was a 25 center, maybe Cap. I think that's what I remember reading.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember reading a bunch of deals. I didn't have Spider-Man, didn't have FF, didn't have Iron Man, wasn't into the Hulk.
So I almost said this earlier, but you're an inker, right? And as our resident inker here tells us, he doesn't read them anyway.
Well, I read them back then.
Yeah, I read other books. I just don't read the books I'm working on.
I read the books
even when they're written by his buddies.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'll read the books I'm working on. I'll read the script. These days. In the old days, I would read the pages as they came in because they were lettered on the pages.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If I'm helping,
so they were always on time.
Yeah. If I'm helping out and I'm doing, 4 pages, 3 pages, whatever, I'm probably not reading it. I'm just kind of going, it's whatever character doing superhero type things.
That's the way I look at it.
And then they say, they rarely say, can you make it match the rest? But I won't do that.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Where did you grow up?
Manhattan.
So you're a New Yorker.
I'm so envious.
Oh yeah.
Don't be envious.
So all right. So next question then is, what comic was it that made young Jose say, this is what I want to do. I want to make these things for the rest of my life. That's it. That's what I want to do.
Wow. I don't know. It was probably just all of them.
All of them?
I don't think there was a one. Because after that Cap book and other Cap issues, there was Marvel Premiere, there was The Invaders, there was.
Now, as a kid, did you like Frank Robbins on The Invaders?
I loved Frank Robbins.
I
still love Frank Robbins.
Well, I hated him as a kid, though.
That was wrong. That was wrong. I understand that from people. Yes. But
I like him now, right? I look at it and go, why did I not like this?
I found Frank Robbins, again, I can't remember the first issue that I found. I found a bunch of them just around that time. So it was Invaders. I remember Invaders 2, buying that as we walked out of Jaws. We crossed the street and my sisters put down the 25 cents for the Invaders number 2. That was Robbins. There was that Legion of Monsters issue that he did for Marvel Premiere. There was, what else was it? The Captain America issues.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably popped up on some other thing. I loved it. I was a kid. I didn't know Neil Adams. I didn't know this guy, that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is fabulous. And what's I keep saying is interesting. I loved it so much, but my work looks nothing like Frank Robbins.
and I think that's okay. So, at what point in time did you start paying attention to like who did them? What are some of the first names you remember going, "Hey, this person wrote that or drew that"? Or
that was Invaders.
Really?
It was the books that I was seeing on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It was irregular basis because I was 10,
right,
11, something like that.
And it was newsstand.
Not 9. Yeah,
Right.
it was Roy Thomas and Frank Robbins on the Invaders.
Yeah.
And Frank Robbins on the other books. Oh, Morbius. That was the other Frank Robbins book.
Right. The Living Vampire.
Oh, that's right. He did that. I forgot that.
Yeah, he was on and off on those books. Probably by 76, Ross Andrew and Sal Buscema on the Spider-Man books.
Okay.
Jim Aparo on the Batman books.
Yep.
Romita kind of sprinkled. I mean, and Romita and Kirby was not a big influence on me, but I saw his work everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think by 76 or so, I could tell, who was doing what. Oh, and Fantino also. Because he was doing Nova and Spider-Woman and must have other things.
Right.
76. That was probably around the time that that Kirby returned to Captain America, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I wasn't
77.
reading that. Yeah, I didn't read that.
Yeah. So we because it sounds like you were Marvel and DC. Were you?
It was mostly Marvel, but I had no problem picking up the Batman books. I loved Batman Family back then because it was more bang for your buck. Literally, it was a buck. And you had the Mike Kaluta covers and the Starlin stuff, and
your shirts.
Yeah, and I gravitated toward the creepy characters.
Okay.
So the Creeper and Deadman and Phantom Stranger and Shade the Changing Man.
Right.
So I stayed away from Superman and Wonder Woman and Aquaman. I was like, whatever.
Yeah. We saw those on Saturday morning. I didn't need to read them.
Yeah.
Okay, so what then? Once you kind of made that decision, all right, this is what I'm going to do. How did you get there? Did you go to art school? Did you go to college? Did you just say I'm putting my nose to the grindstone? How did you get from this is what I want to do to getting work? And what was your first work?
Somewhere along the line, I figured out that comic book people got paid to do this stuff.
Do they? Wait, really?
Well, okay, maybe back then, or they get paid a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
I figured, that's what I wanted to do. My sister took me to my first Comic-Con.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, the old creation shows in New York.
Yes.
They probably had them throughout the. And I saw some art. I think Gene Colan was one of the first people I saw at a show.
Wow.
Maybe Perez.
Cool.
And it just kept going. And I said, okay, well, how do I get this? I know we looked into the John Buscema school.
Wait, John Buscema had a school?
Yeah, didn't you know this?
No.
Oh yeah, he had some kind of a nighttime school for aspiring comic book.
Really?
And apparently, they did it after hours. I don't know where. You can probably ask online, and somebody will tell you. Apparently, other visiting artists would be, I don't know, Gene Colan, Marie Severin, John Romita, those kind of people.
Right.
And it was advertised in the books back then. I mailed away for the brochure. The brochure came. I was all excited, and everyone in my mom, my sisters, all just kind of looked and said, "We can't do this. We can't do this." I don't remember how much it was.
Yeah.
But for living in East Harlem at the time, it was a no-go. It was not going to happen. And that was basically it. But I kept drawing.
Yeah.
So I went to High School of Art and Design in New York. And there was another student who I knew who had been going to DC and getting tips, pointers, lessons from what turned out to be Ernie Colon.
Okay. Yeah.
And I said, okay, how do I get in on this?
Right. Yeah. I want a piece of that.
And so I went to DC and I asked, and they told me, and they said it was Ernie Colon. And they were doing that new talent book at the time. That was the whole idea. So Ernie agreed to take me on, and basically he'd give me these mini assignments. He would say, take a book that you have not read, you have not looked at, and get someone at home to copy down the description of the 2 or 3 pages, the dialogue, etc., and then you draw them. I said, okay. And so I got someone at home to, copy down the couple of pages of Superman or whatever it was. And I did the pages, and then he'd critique them. Like, okay, whether the drawing was off, the storytelling was off, something, Superman wouldn't fly like that. Superman doesn't stand like that. Like, okay. Yeah. All right. And so around that time, we had been told in school about internships. So they had a whole presentation about internships, and you could apply for an internship at, I don't know, CBS Records or some insurance company or or ABC or whatever, was in the city. And it was everything from advertising to marketing to the television studios. And I know I asked Ernie about that. I said, does DC have an internship program? And he said, no, they didn't. Later, I found out that they did, and I think Mike Carlin might have been the last intern. So I think he broke the program, I think. But Ernie said, somebody told me check with Marvel, maybe even was the folks at school. And so I sent they made an appointment for me at Marvel. I got Ernie to give me a letter of recommendation. So I remember taking it. I was interviewed by Shooter's secretary, or administrative assistant, as she liked to be called, along with 2 other interns at the time.
You were interviewed by other interns?
I was interviewed by Lynn, Shooter's assistant, and the other 2 guys who tagged along were Rob Simpson, who went on to edit at Marvel DC and is now at Lucas, and Kyle Baker.
Oh man.
So I got in, and and after that it's just banging on doors, and will you look at my work? Will you look at my work? Will you look at my work?
Yeah. So what, as an intern, what did you do for Marvel?
It was office boy stuff. It was running
photocopies
errands, filing photocopies. I mean, at Marvel you get to photocopy original art. Yeah. And all and with pencils, inks, whatever needed to be done, inks for color. For color, we had to make like 10 copies, 10 sets, something like that. 1 for the editor, 2 for the colorist, 1 for legal, 1 for the code. It was this and they had this massive Xerox machine that I had never seen. And to this day, I still haven't seen another one where it was just, you put it in and it had these racks where these things would just come out all collated. I was like, that is wow. So that's what we did. And then a few weeks into it, the production manager, Danny Crespi, would wander to Lynn basically saying, we need pay stubs done. Yeah. And can your guys help us out? And so she brings us out and says, Danny needs pay stubs, and he'll tell you the whole thing. And it was pasting up word balloons and on a book that was late. Right. And I was like, oh, okay. And they'll pay you. Okay. All right. And for a high school kid, they paid us plenty.
So you were still in high school doing this?
Yeah, I was 16.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we were 16. Maybe Kyle and Rob might have been 17.
Right. Like good grief.
So they'll pay you. They would pay us to, take a stack of pages home, white out the backs of the vellum lettering, cut them out, glue them down with rubber cement. And at the time, they paid us $8 a page.
Nice.
That was 1983 money.
That's good money in 1983. Yeah.
That's good money for a 16-year-old.
Yeah, no kidding.
On top of your internship?
Well, yeah, the internship was free. We just got school credit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And it was even better because you do it at home while watching television.
Right.
Yeah.
Just get one of those, TV tables and just kind of like, you're watching Dynasty or whatever.
So here's my question: is when you brought this work home, did either of your parents look at you like, "What are you doing?"
No.
That's awesome.
Well, it was only my mom. My dad had already gone. And no, she was just like, "Oh, okay, you have some stuff from Marvel. That's good. They're gonna pay you. Oh, that's even better."
At least
my mom was completely, other than she knew some of the characters. My mom is, as I like to say, old country. She knew some of the characters, but she didn't know how any of this stuff worked or was made. And she, she's like, as long as you're doing good and you're making money and you're, off
my mom still doesn't know how it's made.
And at least yeah.
Did you get new buddies when they knew that you were doing the Marvel stuff?
No, I mean, I had the same,
hang out a lot more.
I had the same buddies in high school because they were all geeks.
Right.
High school art and design was, everyone for the most part got along, but there were groups.
Right.
There were the fanboys. There were the jockey type guys. There were the heavy metal guys with their long hair and painted denim jackets. The fashion people, because we were in art school. So we had people who were into fashion. I was going to say,
you had jocks in an art school?
Okay, we didn't have jocks. That's not true.
I was sitting there thinking, wait,
we had no jocks.
What are the jocks? What are they doing?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was all the same people, and
yeah,
my friends like, oh, they knew I got the internship, and I was out of school, out of the building rather, for about a semester, something like that. So they didn't see me, and most of them knew I was at Marvel, and some were kind of like, oh, we wondered where you went. It's like, I was at Marvel doing the internship, but a lot of people were doing internships,
right?
Yeah. A lot of students. So it wasn't unusual for someone to disappear and go to
Marvel.
CBS Records but ours was Marvel, so that was good. Yeah. So that was kind of like that was the cachet where after a while I started getting background work.
Yeah.
So I was getting background work from Rubenstein and some from Wycheck and Vinny and Starlin. And
this is all because you were an intern there.
Yeah. Because I would then show my work to. I showed my work to Joe and Bob and the other Bob. Right. And after a while, they go, "Oh, I need a helping hand. Can you help me out?"
Yeah.
And so I would go to school sometimes, and I had,
Marvel pages
work pages in my bag. And then after school, like, well, yeah, you guys, want to go here, there, whatever. Like, no, I got to go drop off these pages. I got to go down to Marvel now. It was good. It was good.
Jose's
days.
high school kids are slipping under the bleachers to drink beer. Jose's slipping under the bleachers so he can ink.
We had no bleachers. We had no bleachers.
Oh, that's right. There were no jocks in your school.
Right.
Matt Likes Comedy said, I just contributed, went for the shiny. Oh, thank you, Matt. So appreciate so much you backing and supporting the campaign. Tabitha, hey, what's up, Tabitha? She says, hey, as a reminder, if you guys have questions that you want to ask Jose, drop them in the comments, and we will be sure.
Or in the comics.
Or the comics, yeah. And we will be sure to get those asked of Jose.
So when you got the internship and it came from school or from people that you knew at school, where in the hierarchy of internships, where did Marvel fall? Was it like
I have no idea.
No, okay.
I have no idea. I mean, I know they had internships because just from memory, I remember hearing things like CBS.
Right.
And maybe Simon and Schuster and places like that, but I only asked for a Marvel internship. I I didn't even think.
So you got your first choice then?
That was my only choice. I mean, had I thought about it, I would have said, well, maybe I should apply to Simon and Schuster or this other place or this other place.
Right.
No, I just said, yeah, Marvel. If I don't get Marvel, I'm not going. I'm not going. Which is kind of the way I applied for college, also. Because I only applied to the art schools.
Okay.
Right.
I applied to School of Visual Arts, Cooper Union, and Parsons.
Right. All in New York.
Maybe
I don't know any of those.
Maybe I applied to Pratt. Maybe. And I had brochures and applications ready for Rhode Island. And there was another Savannah, maybe.
Oh yeah,
maybe, but I don't think that was on the list back then. It was probably, I know it was Rhode Island and maybe some other school in the Northeast.
Ringling was probably around then.
Yeah, but I certainly didn't know of Ringling back then.
Yeah.
So I only applied to the New York ones, and I remember my sister saying, you should apply to NYU or something like that, just in case. And my answer was always, what do you mean, just in case?
Just in case what?
Just in case what? So I got approved to all three.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I got approved to all three, and Parsons was expensive. Visual Arts gave me a scholarship, and Cooper was free also. Wow. Cooper was free across the board for everyone who went.
Okay.
That's the way they structured their thing.
How did they do that? Out of curiosity.
They, as I understand it, they own the land under the Chrysler Building. So they get a lot of money from that.
Oh, I see, yeah.
But apparently they've misspent it. So over the years they've flirted with charging to some tuition or something.
They're in real estate.
Yeah. And I think they own like some other plots of land in the city or something. Because the school is like, 150 years old or something like that.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. They got in early.
Yeah. So I remember asking the guidance counselor, okay, so what do I do? Where do I?
Yeah.
She said, go to Cooper. I said, why? SVA is the one is going to give me a full scholarship, and they have cartooning and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And she said, no, Cooper will make you think differently and think out of the box. And it was just more prestige. I don't know. I said,
SVA,
okay, fine.
Is that where SVA, guys help me out, is that where I've seen Walter Simonson talking about? Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah.
Yeah, and Simonson, either Kurtzman, Eisner, who else was teaching there?
Wow, yeah, Jansen. You wanted to go there.
Yeah, but they weren't there then.
Okay,
I'm not sure who was teaching. Maybe Eisner was probably teaching there at the time.
Yeah.
The names that were teaching there were Eisner, probably at the time, Marshall Arisman, who was a big illustrator.
Okay. And
lots of illustration and comic book people. But I still went to Cooper, and I was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing was, I at least...
Did they teach you to think out of the box?
They did. They did teach us to think out of the box.
Job well done.
Huh?
Job well done.
Yeah. So I'm still thinking out of the box.
Okay. So you do a lot of advertising work then, huh?
No, I don't do any advertising.
Oh, really?
That's where the big money is, isn't it?
Yes,
So they tell me.
That's what?
So they tell me that's where the big money is.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Cooper? Is it a 4-year school?
4 years.
Yeah. Okay.
It's art, architecture, and engineering. The architecture school, I think it has 100 students.
Okay.
The art school maybe from somewhere in a few hundreds, but I can't even think it had 1,000.
Yeah.
And the architecture, maybe it had 1,000. It was literally at the time, it was literally just 2 buildings. The old building, which is on Astor Place, which was built in the 1860s, 1870s.
Right.
Okay.
And the artists, we worked there. The architects had one floor. And then the other building across the street, which was a more modern, 1950s, 1960s building, that's where all the architects, the engineers did all their thing. So,
was the Kubert School even on your radar at all? Or was it too far away?
It was, but I don't know if it was like at the time, a full accredited type school or something. I did not apply to the Kubert School.
Okay.
Yeah. And it probably, I don't know. I didn't even look into it. And it probably would have meant, things like dorms or living out there. And that would have meant money. And like,
yeah. Well, so Cooper was close enough for you to live at home and
go back. Cooper. Okay. Yeah. Cooper's in the city. Yeah. But the Kubert School was out in Jersey and way out in Jersey. It wasn't. Yeah.
I think the Kubert School was expensive, and you had to live on campus, which was basically a big house and converted into dorms.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It was a mansion, wasn't it? I heard him calling it. I've heard it called the Kubert Mansion before.
Yeah. I've never been, so I don't know.
I've never been either, but I've always kind of pictured it like the X-Men mansion
with this giant plane in the backyard.
And I pictured it more like a frat house. Like where the guys from Animal House lived.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But they're comic book geeks, so it's probably quieter, right?
Right. Yeah. There's no toga party. They're all sitting there drawing their stuff. They're not
arguing about who's stronger,
Superman
or Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
A fist fight breaks out on Fridays when they try to figure out who's stronger.
All right, so you're going to school at Cooper. So the internship is over at this point in time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you still getting background work for some of the guys?
Yeah, because the background work. Hold on, these things keep slipping out of my ear. The background stuff started 83.
Wow.
I started Cooper in 84.
Okay.
You
graduated from high school the same year I did?
84, yeah.
You graduated high school in 84?
Yeah.
Okay. A year after I did then.
Okay. And so I was doing backgrounds mostly for Starlin and Rubenstein.
Okay.
Pretty much like the high school, and then for Joe in the college years. By college years, I started to do more work with John Romita doing the art corrections.
Okay.
Because John had,
you went on staff, didn't?
I was a raider. I was like the Phantom Stranger, or Snapper Carr with the Justice League. That I was never an official member.
Oh, really?
But I was there so long, and I was a raider.
Okay, yeah, I thought I'd seen that somewhere.
Yeah, I was never by the book. I did not get a staff check like Kevin McGuire or Mark McKenna or Tom Morgan or whoever else came along.
Right.
So John asked me. I remember this. He literally stopped me in the hallway, and he said, I wanted to talk about something, and it was basically about the raider position. And I said, oh, well, that's great, but I'm going to school now. And just like a dad, he says, oh, no, go. Finish school.
Yeah.
But he had enough work. He said, well, how about, and I can't remember, maybe he had asked me to come in first, and then a few months, that would have been the summer, and then a few months later, he asked me to come on staff, and I said, oh, I'm starting school. I can't come on staff. So what he had me do was kind of come in for the summer. Right?
Yeah.
And then when school started, he had me come in on when the schedule allowed.
Okay.
Right.
So, you know how college is. Sometimes you have an afternoon off, or you have a night class, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so I would call him up and I would say, "Hey, do you need me today?" He says, "Yeah, come on over." "Do you need me, Wednesday or Friday?" He says, "Yeah, come in Friday, come in Wednesday." And he says, "Yeah, just come in." Just come in. Whenever it is, just come in. We'll find something for you to do. We'll find something. And yeah, that was basically it. And then, you're only supposed to be a raider for so long.
Right.
And I kind of drifted away. I still think there's a page floating out on Facebook that lists all the raiders and their.
I've seen that. Yeah.
What days, what years they worked.
Yeah.
And I still think that it's wrong. I think I was either earlier. I think my stretch is longer.
Okay.
Because
I think the one I saw was organized by like this person was there for I'm going to make up stuff, but like this person was there for 2 years. This person was there for 17 months or 17 months. This person was there for 15 months, and it just kind of
right. But I think I was kind of on call for much longer.
Gotcha.
But in any case, after a while, it kind of drifted away, and I was getting more. I was starting to pick up work, regular inking work from things like Marvel. What was it? Marvel Saga, Marvel Age. That kind
I
of
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of did that retelling of the Marvel universe. So they always had pinups and things like that. Occasional art corrections, and then I was offered Solo Avengers when Joe left. I was doing backgrounds for Rubenstein on Solo Avengers.
Yeah.
And Joe left the book, and they basically looked around and they go, "Oh, just give it to him." Just give it to him.
He's in the club.
As it usually goes, right?
So
all right.
So here's what.
So I was doing Solo Avengers while I was in college. So in the downtime when I wasn't going to help John, and later as the years went on and I wasn't helping John, we all had studios on the painter's floor, and I would some of my roommates were painting, I was sitting there doing Solo Avengers.
And you mean the painting floor at Cooper, right?
Yeah, this was at Cooper, but remember, Cooper was free, so
right.
Yeah,
that's great.
Now, I don't crew here. I don't know if you guys realize this, but Jose, a couple of weeks we had Howard Mackey on, and this is now the second guest, y'all, that we've had that didn't do independent comic books before going straight into Marvel Comics.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that? So Jose, you did not do any
nope
independent comics, but you just went straight internship, backgrounds, Marvel Comics.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was it. I didn't do independent books until I don't know, less than 10 years ago.
Wow.
There was a lot of folks that went through that same path who became Ramita's Raiders and then started getting regular work and then became inkers or artists.
Yeah, that was the whole idea of it.
Yeah,
right.
It was me. There was Tom Morgan. I worked with Tom Morgan, McKenna, James Fry.
Yep.
Who else? Those were the main guys. Keith Williams was the first Raider.
Okay.
He had moved on by then. He had gone to do freelance, and he was an assistant editor at the time for a while. Kevin McGuire, worked with Kevin also during that time. There were a bunch of others. Scott Koblish was a Raider.
Oh, it's an impressive list. If
you
look at the full list, it's an impressive list of.
It feels like your second school, basically.
Yeah.
Like you had your day school, and then you had your comic book school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you learn from the best. You learn from John, and you learn really under the gun. You learn under the gun.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's not all like, oh, let's do this class project. Or it's like, no, we need this thing done today.
Right. Because we have to publish this thing.
Yeah. It's like, this is not art anymore. This is product. This has to ship tomorrow. It's like, what's the rush? There are old men at the printers who are going to get overtime. And once they start getting overtime, that editor is going to get fired.
That's right. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Oh, man, I say this so much in my class today. It's almost like they don't believe me. David A. Scooterez. What is up, David? Thanks for hanging out with us, man. He says, this is wonderful. Thanks for setting this up, Roland. You're absolutely welcome, David. I've been on. You can ask Jose. I've been on him for a while. Come on, man. Come hang out with us. Come hang out with us. Come hang out with us.
Yeah, it's just like, it's not that I'm always busy, but I have 3 kids running around.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so that's I think that's pretty standard person. 3801 says, "Hey, all, what's up, standard person?" As a reminder, David, Tabitha, Matt, standard person. If you guys got questions that you want to ask Jose, drop them in the comments, and we will be sure we get to ask Jose. You guys got any questions before I go to the next one? Yeah.
What was the industry like in general? What was your opinion of it? Because it feels like it was a job, but it's also comics. So did you get any kind of sense of what the actual industry was like? Or were you just head to the grind?
No, I wasn't always involved in the politics of it. I guess I was around for the Jim Shooter day. I was certainly there for Jim Shooter days. Yeah. But when Jim was let go or pushed out, I was like, I have no memory of what happened.
Right.
And I was there. I hadn't completely moved to DC.
Yeah.
So
it was above your pay grade, huh?
It was just like, well, did you hear? Oh, wow, that's weird. Oh, okay. Well, here are the pages. Yeah. So, I always, you as a kid, you always hear, griping from your family members about work and so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you what they did. I guess I, heard some of that, but when you're in comics, there's the production guys, there's editorial, there's the finance people, the licensing people. They don't cross much.
Yeah.
Right.
The editors,
Tom heard it all the time from me.
Yeah, the editors don't walk into production and say, hey, you want to go for lunch? No, they don't do that. They don't do that.
No, editors hang out with editors usually.
Yeah.
Or freelancers.
Right. Yeah.
And some freelancers, not all freelancers.
Right.
Because not all freelancers were invited to lunch.
Right.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Because we've had some on here. Some of them don't know when to stop talking.
But yeah, it's kind of, I have to think back to my mom, who was always that kind of old school Catholic who just basically says, be thankful for what you have.
Yeah.
There's always people with less.
Oh yeah.
And a much harder job. I was talking to someone today and we were just talking. I said, well, it beats digging ditches.
100%. And I've dug ditches. It's hard work.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I did it one summer. That was enough for me.
Yeah. So I was fine. I realized that, not every edit. You understand. Not every editor is liked. Not every freelancer is liked. You kind of go, well, what's the deal with? What's the matter, dog? What do you want? I don't have anything. He's probably wanting me to check his bed. Let me check his bed.
Yeah. It's always interesting when someone they look off panel and just start talking. You're like, okay, wait, what's going on here, right?
It's like the start of a movie that I'm not involved in.
Yeah, he's very particular about his blanket on the sofa. If it's got too many wrinkles, it's like, well, that's not the way I like it. You eat stuff off the street.
You need to teach him how to smooth the wrinkles out himself. Right?
That's too late for that.
So if you would kind of, take us kind of through your career path. So Solo Avengers is what your first book was.
Solo Avengers was during college.
Okay.
And then somehow, and I've never been able to nail it down, I got a call I graduated in May, June, whenever that was. And around the same time, I got a call from DC to do, not Solo Avengers, Action when it was weekly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Over Mark Bright, Green Lantern over Mark Bright. And that was 10 pages a week, 8 pages a week, something like that. Probably 8.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like a lot. And I don't know who called me over. I don't know if it was.
Oh, you don't remember the phone call?
No, I know. I got the phone call from Denny O'Neil's assistant.
Okay.
But I wasn't buddy with Denny back in the Marvel days.
Right.
Maybe it was Denny. But I had been inking Mark Bright on Avengers, or Solo Avengers. Maybe it was Mark.
Yeah.
Jim Owsley was the writer, and I knew him from Marvel. I've never asked any of them, and now Denny's gone, Mark is gone. I guess Jim is the only guy, or Christopher Priest, as he goes by these days, is the only guy I could ask, and he probably won't remember. So anyway, so they offered that, and I said, sure. And I remember talking to Joe Rubenstein, basically telling him, I don't think I can do your backgrounds anymore because I got this this thing to do.
I got my own gig.
Yeah, I got my own gig. And he said, how much are they paying you? I said, I have no idea. He says, you took a job without agreeing how much you're getting paid? I said, well, it's a regular gig at DC. I'm not gonna,
I'm not gonna say no.
I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't care.
I don't care. But they beat my Marvel rate, so that was good. And so I did that. I didn't do that long. I think it was a month and a half.
Okay.
And it killed me.
And
I was just like, it was just 8 pages a week.
That sounds brutal to me.
That was kind of at the beginning.
But
I had to do.
But it was a weekly, so I had to hit that mark.
Yeah.
Every Friday, I had to turn in 8 pages. There was no wiggle room at all. And I was like, page 1, page 2, page 3. I'm like, I am exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. And I think now if you said, can you do 8 pages? I'd say, yeah, I can get it done by Wednesday. But back then, I was new. I was slow. I was still learning how to figure things out and the routines. And I said, I can't do this anymore. And then luckily, I think I told them the story. And then I think Andy Helfer offered me, I can't remember what it was. I think it was Haywire, which nobody remembers.
That was Michael Fleischer.
That was written by Mike Fleischer, penciled by Vince Girano, who's gone on to do paintings, gallery paintings. And he has lots of shows, in the city and across the country. And Kyle was inking that. And Kyle, for whatever reason, left. And Andy said, you want it? I said, yeah, sure, And that led to The Flash and I think Time Masters before that.
Yeah.
And just on and on and on.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, I can talk about the whole, not sure how it happened, because I know as an editor, one of the things that we would do, and like Tom, we'd pull Tom in, right? If we talk to a penciler that, hey, you're going to come pencil this for me, we would often look who's worked with them before and who looks good, right? And so we'd say, oh, this inker looks good. Now, what you do then is you talk to the penciler, and if the penciler's like, yeah, okay. Sometimes the penciler would say, yeah, oh no, I don't want to work with that person. And as an editor, you're like, but why not? It looks so good. And then of course they'll tell you their reasons, but that's often where you would approach as an editor. You would approach it from. It's like, okay, look, they've worked together before. This is a good looking product.
Yeah, right.
I've got the penciler. Let me see if the inker wants to come on and do this too.
Right. Yeah. But again, I don't know. I didn't ask. I was just like, yeah, fine. That's
yeah. I get it. It was a job.
I imagine it was a grind for most people because they didn't keep that weekly format for long.
Yeah.
Right.
It's too much of a grind for everyone. For a bunch of comic book guys that, Fridays they have to go see a Star Wars movie. Saturday they have to see a different movie, and Sunday there were no video games back then. But it's like comic book guys are a bunch of goof offs.
What do you mean no video games? There was the arcade, dude. You never went to the arcade.
Okay. Yeah.
There's always video games.
Yeah. Standard person said, hey, my cat is the same way with his blanket wrinkles.
See?
He says, wondering if Thomas Formani Jr. is having a good time.
Well, yeah. No, I'm just listening. I'm having a good time.
Hey, standard person, at least you're not asking him to read the comic. It's a long run joke with Tommy.
I need to read more comics.
Yeah. So what's the so this is
I make up my own story when I'm drawing.
So this is all Marvel, all DC at this point in time, and of course early 90s. Image hits big. What is your memory of independent comics, or maybe even what's the first independent comic that you worked on? Because you said the first until like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
which for those who keep track, that's like 2015.
Yeah, the first indie stuff I did, and I don't even know if we could call it indie. I did some. Oh my god, I'm trying to think of what it was. They were more social issue comics.
Okay.
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
Like custom comics?
I don't even know. I think they were published. I never saw a copy.
Okay.
They dealt with, I guess, emotional abuse and things like that.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if they were true indie comics.
Right. Maybe something like a medical association or something like that.
Yeah, there are ad pieces.
I think they were being sold through those avenues to schools, libraries, things like that. That was with, I think Rob Tokar was the editor guy bundling it together.
Right.
And Don Hudson, who was also a writer, who's gone on to do storyboards and things like that, was penciling it. So I think Don called me up and said, would I be interested? I go, sure, I don't have any other work, so sure.
Send me over the sad comics.
Yeah. And I helped my friend on another job some years back. I'm trying to think of the name of the publisher. Might be Heroic Age or
Heroic
like
Publishing.
That.
Yeah. There was a Heroic. Yeah.
But that's basically it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's been, I mean, and reading the stuff back at Marvel, Rob was into a lot of the black and white books back then. Cerebus and Journey, Love and Rockets, all that stuff. He turned me on to Cerebus, and I still have a stack of Cerebus. And the only sad thing is that they're printed on such crappy paper and they're literally yellow.
I have the phone books.
Yeah, I have those too somewhere.
Yeah.
And I remember reading Journey and Love and Rockets for a while and stuff like that, but I didn't go to that side of the comic book shop.
Interesting.
I was the Marvel DC.
Yeah.
I dabbled with Pacific and Eclipse and those guys because they had Kirby and Brent Anderson and Gene Colan and Bernie Wrightson or whoever.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have Kirby, I'm like, well, I'm not going to read it. I'm not reading it. But the reality is also, once you, I don't know about you guys, but for me, once you start working in it, it becomes a real grind. And after a certain point, it was just hard to read books, any book.
Yes.
Well, I think too, for me, I know I read them differently. Then I want to read them all for enjoyment.
Yeah.
But I find that that often, not always, but often I start critiquing them and going, well, why did they do this? This was stupid. They should have done that.
Right. I do that with the modern stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've been on a slow purge. I need to get rid of stuff. You know, this stuff is probably the stuff that's going to stay for the most part.
Right.
But there's literally boxes in each corner that drive my wife crazy. and you know what it's like. It's like the stuff is kind of just, it's like they breed. Literally,
right.
You sell a box and you go, what the hell? I just sold a box, but now I need 3 more boxes.
yeah.
So I've been letting go of this stuff, and then I'm just kind of going, you know, when you're in the business, you get the stuff free. And
a lot of it, yeah.
I have no memory of getting it, and I think, oh, I should keep it because you never know when you need to write a Green Lantern story or something.
Yeah.
Well, I had gotten rid of the Green Lantern books a long time ago, but there's still a few floating around, or whatever book. But I'm flipping through it and I go, yeah, that's not. Yeah, no, I don't understand it. I don't understand it, and that's not to knock my peers.
Right, of course.
I mean, I'm sure they're kind of looking at my stuff and going, "Oh, you know, it's that, you know, Neil Adamsy, Stan Drake, John Romita looking thing. That's so old fashioned." Oh, I'm old fashioned. You know, look at the stuff I have on the shelf. It's like, you know, this is how old the stuff I watch is. And where's, you know, here's some fun ones. It's like, you know, that's what I want.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, you know, I can't keep all this stuff.
Here's what's even worse, Jose. When you go to weeding, right, and you weed, right, you got your little stack that you're weeding, and then you flip through it. And then oh no, this one sent to Roland. Thanks for being such a huge inspiration. And like, I can't throw this one away now. And you have no memory of it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I look at it, I'm like, I have no memory of this, but clearly someone wrote something really nice.
Yeah.
You know?
I was flipping through two quick stories. So more recently, as I started to let go of this stuff, I'm pulling stuff out and I'm organizing, and I have my books organized by the good stuff, you know, the stuff that all collectors acknowledge is worthy of, you know, bagging and saving. Right. And then there's like tons of freebies and other stuff. You just go, oh, God, there's so much of it. And for some reason, the Titan stuff was in the overflow pile, the Perez stuff.
Oh no!
And that's fine. I mean, I can't keep everything in the good boxes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of going through. I was like,
but Perez deserves to be in the good boxes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do I keep it? Do I not? Do I keep it? Do I not? I don't know. I had sold off huge stacks of Titan stuff a long time ago, but then I had a few random issues of the original Titans run.
Okay. Yeah.
Bob Haney.
This was the Neil Adams issues, and I pull them out, and they're kind of so condition copies. Like, oh wow, what do you know? Neil signed this one. And I'm going through my X-Men books. Now the X-Men books, because they're valuable, they're in the good boxes in a prime place in the house. And I was going through like, and then Giant Size X-Men and Giant Size X-Men 2, which reprints the Adams stuff. Right. I just wanted to look at it. So I pull it out. Oh, what do you know? This one's signed by Neil too. It's just like weird random. What did I pull out? And
you have no memory of it?
I pulled out, just for laughs, I pulled out the first appearance of Elektra. Just to flip through it. Signed by Miller.
Wow.
The other one that threw me, in the garage, I had a stash of magazines. And why? Because the magazines are hard to store and just like,
they don't fit in a comic box.
Yeah. And a bunch of Savage Sword and other Marvel black and white magazines. There's either Savage Sword or Savage Tales or something. And I pull it out and I go, should I sell this? I don't know. It's in good shape. I don't know. I think about it. I go, oh, it's signed by Barry Smith. I'm like, I can't remember. I'm like, I can't remember this stuff. It's just I can't. It's too much.
That's crazy.
And I can't read the stuff that much at times. Years ago, when the kids were little, I remember pulling out the archive edition of either Challengers of the Unknown or the Doom Patrol. I think it was the Challengers. I sat in my chair in the living room. It's probably 10 o'clock at night. Like, oh, I'm gonna read the Challengers. I've never read this. I think I got like 5 pages in, and my head's nodding. Like, I can't even read a simple comic from 1962.
Yeah.
And my argument's like, I've been up since 6.
Right.
Drawing these little pictures, and it's like, do you really think I'm gonna sit here at 10 o'clock at night and read this stuff? I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah. So we got a question here. David A. Scudera says, which penciler was the easiest to gel with stylistically? Good question.
That has come up a few times.
Yeah.
I like to think that it was either Pia Guerra on Y.
Okay, yeah.
Or Stuart Immonen on Superman when he was doing his Stan Drake look.
Okay.
So everyone knows Stuart's work to be this high contrast look.
Right.
There was a period on Superman where he was really being influenced by Stan Drake. So there was a lot of brushy pen hair stuff and more rendery stuff,
right,
and less of that contrasty stuff. And that, I think, is where I fit in more, because that's kind of the way I normally work. And Pia was similar. It's just a lot of naturalistic rendering that doesn't come from the high contrast, doesn't come from a comic book, Kurt Swan, John Buscema, Joe Sinnott kind of look. That's what I feel. So I'm more comfortable with that type. I'm not particularly comfortable with the 90s Image look. I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Tommy calls it the scritchy scratchy.
That's fine. And I wouldn't know what to do with it. I would just follow it. Follow it. But then there's the side of me when I was doing Goran Suzuka on Y. His work is very classic 60s Silver Age looking. And I'm making it going, it looks like Romita. And I just pulled out all my Romita stuff and I started doing John. And he says, I said, I was inking your work like thinking Romita. I said, really? Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks. But when I was doing Waringo, because Mike is very cartoony, that's when I started thinking Carl Barks or Disney. I've got I'm a big Disney fan.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like, okay, now I do my cartoony look. But I think long run is probably Pia and Stuart on Superman. And
nice. So
and why?
We got a couple other questions, but I want to stick here. So is there anybody? Are there any pencilers that you have not had the opportunity to ink that you could say, you know what, I'd really like the opportunity to ink this guy or gal, this pencil?
Current pencilers?
Yeah.
I mean, I never inked Gene Colan, and I missed that.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to ink Garcia Lopez.
Okay, I was going to say someone that you could still possibly do.
Garcia Lopez, possibly do Jose, Kevin Nolan.
Okay.
And that probably not going to happen because Kevin's always inking his own work.
Yeah.
But he has a certain Stan Drake quality to his line as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes from Bob Oxner. He's a big Bob Oxner fan.
Yeah. I can see.
And
we sat right next to Garcia Lopez at Heroes Con last time.
Yeah. You should have
took a shot.
But I don't know what he's working on. He's not working on many regular projects.
Yeah.
There was somebody else I was thinking of. Besides, there's always Jim Lee and those kind of guys. I did ink Jim Blue Line on one of the Bob Amon's Inkwell Awards projects.
Right.
So that was fun. I'm trying to think. There was
one of those. Here's these pencilers. Here's how all these different inkers would handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another guy. There was a guy doing a lot of stuff for DC. The name is blanking on me. I'll have to look it up. Very Alan Davis, Neil Adams-ish. But that's the kind of school, that's where I come from. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Standard person here has a question. He says, from your collection, what's the one box you grab in a fire?
Does that mean comics or?
Yeah. Which is the one comic box you grab?
I probably go into panic because I don't know exactly which one it is.
Right, yeah.
They all look the same. I'd probably grab it and go, "Oh crap! This is the crappy Avengers box." Probably the Spider-Man box.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's not that it's. I don't have number one or anything, but it's probably. It holds the most nostalgia and monetary value.
Yeah, you get big nods of approval from both me and Tommy for that. Yeah.
And then the other box is the original artwork box. That's the one I just gotta grab. I've told my kids if something happens, you grab those boxes and those things on the walls and run.
Yeah.
They say it's good to rehearse.
We have a fire drill, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've run. Hey, you're in Florida, so you've run through that hurricane. You look around the house like, all right, if I have to start moving, what am I taking?
Right. Yep. What goes?
Yep. Yeah. What can I fit in the car? And if someone says, oh, but I can't fit a pillow, the pillow stays.
Right. That's right.
This comic will buy you many pillows. Let's go.
That's right. David A. Scudres has another question. He says, what are your favorite tools for the trade? I'll put it back up here. What are your favorite tools for the trade? You have favorite brushes, favorite ink? Do you do anything digital these days?
I am lots of digital, sadly. Brushes, it's the usual Winsor Newton and Raphael's. Pens, I always get the brands and the numbers mixed up.
Yeah.
So it was the 100 and 103. Those were Hunt, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. Hunt 103. And the Gillette 170 and 1950. The 170 is larger, has bounce, but not a lot of bounce. The 1950s look like the 102s, really small, but it has more bounce. I don't like the 102. I know comic book guys swear by the 102. I hate the 102 because the 102 is like drawn with a stick. It has no bounce.
Right.
The 1950 is what I use for backgrounds and little figures because it's small and it has bounce. And that's it. That's all I use. I mean, I might use a marker or a pentel or a ballpoint pen to do curves or circles, but that's it. I don't use microns. I don't use markers. Maybe a Sharpie or something to do Kirby crackle if it pops up.
Yeah.
But I don't use microns. I don't use any of that stuff.
They fade.
I'm pretty sure they will. I'll use them at shows for sketches, but on the books, you might see them on backgrounds on a rush job here and there, but generally I get tired of what number? Oh, it's a 3. It's too small. Oh, a 0. It's too big. It's too much. Digital, Clip Studio, Photoshop, and Painter.
Clip Studio, Photoshop, and Painter.
And here's my drawing tablet pen. My digital pen.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah. Did you? So what about making the?
But so I was going to say, so for comics, digitally, it's pretty much only Clip Studio.
Me too.
Yeah, for Photoshop is to put the stuff together, and Painter, if I'm doing painting, then I'll bounce back and forth between all three programs because each one does something a little bit different.
Yeah. Bingo. That was my question. You answered it. We're done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Good night.
So let me ask you this. So because you are a child of the age in which you began, did you, was it hard for you to make that shift from analog to digital?
From traditional to digital.
Yeah.
I don't
Traditional
think
to
so.
digital.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. I think it just became
The norm.
the norm. It was, I really had my printer for a long time was just such a pain. And I was too cheap, too poor, or whatever, too lazy to buy a new printer. Because, so you know how the printers are. Once, if you're printing out blue lines and you run out of any color, then the printer will print.
Right.
Because the printer says, no, I don't have blue. I said, I don't care. Just print it in any color. No, I refuse. Like, oh, good grief. And I think I had run so many pages through it that it didn't have, it just wouldn't grab the page.
Yeah.
Automatically. I had to kind of feed it in every time. And so for one page, sometimes I'm there for like half an hour or more.
That's too much work.
That's too much work.
Yeah.
And then you start going, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to sell this page anyway because the market and whatever. I'll just do it digitally.
Yeah.
You know. And so I started doing some jobs digitally. Also, there was a time at DC I was doing 2 books. And it was just a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it was 2 books. It was 2 books, and my kids were at an age where I was kind of being pulled for this kid and that kid and this kid. And I'm like, I'm losing time driving from here to Orlando to here to there.
Yeah.
Like, so I realized, I said, my penciler, I think he's penciling digitally. They're sending me the pages to do blue lines. Okay, I'll do them digitally.
Yeah.
And then I was doing them. I remember I started taking pages on the iPad to my son's karate class.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there basically just doing the brain dead stuff. Just the backgrounds or rubble or things like that. And then I would, come here and then download it or whatever to the desktop and finish it off.
Yeah.
And that became the routine. And so, yeah. And then for some jobs, it was just like, I'll do it digital because I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fight that I always get with at shows. It's not, you always get the question, why are you going digital? It must be easier. It's like, no, it's just more convenient because I can work wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that it's not easier. It
no, it's not easier at all because you're still trying to make it look like your work, right? So,
yeah. I'm doing it. It takes me just as long, if not longer. My wife would walk in, and this was when I was still analog. So I'd scan the page in, and I'd, blowing it up, and I'm cleaning up gutters digitally and things like that. And she walks in, and the thing is, this tiny panel that is in reality this big. I'm working on it this large.
Right.
And she says, no one's going to see that.
Right. And she's not wrong.
Right. And having a real brush means I can just whack something in and it's done.
Yeah.
I can't really whack something in Clip Studio. It just doesn't. I just can't get it really thick. You can take a brush.
It's not whackable.
Yeah, you take it, and it goes from a nothing line to this really thick thing. You can't do that in Clip Studio. And then you go fill in the blacks. And if you're using the dropper, it spills all over the place. And if I was filling in this in by hand, I would have been done by now because it's just like bloop, 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 bloop,
Yeah, yeah.
But
several years ago, I caught Tommy because Tommy he takes his tablet with him everywhere, and it's just several years ago. I saw him inking I'm like, and I didn't recognize it, and it was for a book that we were working on together, and I didn't recognize it. I said, "What is that? What are you inking there?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm doing so and so." And then he scrolled out and he goes, "Oh crap, no one's gonna see this. I don't know why I'm doing this." He had zoomed in, right?
Yeah, you get fixated. And you start.
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's what I realized. A lot of the pencilers were working digitally.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're drawing stuff way too much detail that they wouldn't have normally done on a piece of paper.
Yeah,
you couldn't. Yeah, you couldn't have done it with a real pencil.
No.
Yeah. And just like, oh, can we tell these guys to stop?
Right.
Stop.
Please.
Standard Person says printers are really just ink cartridge subscriptions.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
We've got Tommy and I've got this thing now where what we'll do, or mostly him, but sometimes I'm like, hey, what about this page? He'll go through and he'll pick a few pages from a book that he'll do traditional because of the original art market, right? But everything else is digital.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that. It's just
you still need to have some pages to bring the shows and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And it's usually the splash pages, the big, the action stuff. Yeah. Nobody wants a page of talking heads.
Well, except maybe me.
You blow through those real quick.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah. I've done that, and I should do more of that.
So as always,
that really depends on how long your vacation you're on.
I have ink pages on vacation.
Oh yeah, me too.
I mean, we're Roland and I are Floridians, so there's lots of places to do staycations here.
Right.
And I'm half an hour from Disney, so we do a lot of staycations over there.
Tommy's probably closer to you than I am.
Oh, okay. Where are you at?
I'm in Gotha, by the West Coast Mall.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been in a hotel room doing something for Marvel and while the family's asleep and like and I feel good. That's like, oh, thank God we got a 1-bedroom, because if it had been a regular 2-bedroom hotel room, I can't do it.
Meanwhile, me and Tom are out at the local restaurant going, man, why they got to go in there inking and stuff? They need to be here talking to us about cool comic stuff.
Got to get some work done.
As happens on our Sunday nights, time has flown by. Jose, what are you working on today, and where can people find you? I know you're doing shows. What shows are you got coming up this year?
I don't have any comic book stuff scheduled now.
What?
So that's the reality. So I am doing spot illustrations and coloring for O'Reilly Media Publishing.
Okay. Yeah.
I started doing work for them from one of my old DC editors who had moved over there, and she started throwing some spot illustrations at me, and then the other art directors just kept the ball rolling. So it varies. It's spot illustrations of all types. Yeah. Everything from a coffee cup to people sitting at a desk doing work.
Right.
And I've been doing caricature illustrations for their covers and coloring. They have they use old like Dover art books. Right. My family's arguing in the background.
we can't hear the words, but we can hear them.
So they used to use old like Dover clip art type stuff.
Right.
And now they want to bring it into the new century and coloring.
Gotcha.
You're updating.
Yeah.
So,
What is it? What is it? Dustin Hoffman. We're walking here. We're talking here. We're talking here.
that's on the shelf. That's over here.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's
Hey,
over here.
hey, do be sure that you tell your family thank thank them
letting you hang
for
out.
us for letting you hang out with us.
So I'm doing that. And I haven't looked for comic book work just because I've been busy with the O'Reilly stuff.
Yeah.
And you can find me. There's Facebook, Instagram, my website. I'm now selling my books on Whatnot. That's where all my collectibles are going. Yeah, and it shows. So I'll be at, where am I doing?
Heroes.
Fan Expo Philly.
Okay.
Philadelphia. That's next month, I guess. Yeah. Heroes Con
in June.
Yeah. Fan Expo Anaheim.
Okay.
That's also in late June.
Which you're not driving to.
I am not driving to that.
Go to bed. I'll be
What's the other one I'm doing? I'm doing a small show in Valdosta, Georgia in July.
Is that the one you and I were talking about, Tommy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working on that one. We may see you there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's run by Brian. I don't know what you need, dog. Would you like to be on camera? He's literally standing here whining. I don't know what he needs.
I want to talk too.
Yeah, so I was invited to their shows a couple of years ago, and their show was put on by an Air Force club.
Cool.
So the guys in the Air Force have a comic book anime club, more anime than comic books.
Okay.
And they put on the show. They invited me. It went well. They treated me splendidly.
Yeah.
And now they said they want to do a comic show as opposed to their anime show. Because you know, comic books and anime guys are just kind of like oil and water sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. I'm doing that one, and then Baltimore.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, Baltimore's a good show.
I've never been to Baltimore, but I've heard good things about it.
Baltimore's like, I did Baltimore for the first time last year.
Yeah.
And that's on par with Heroes.
Wow. Okay.
It's huge.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. It's got the same vibe.
Very comic book.
Yeah.
Sounds like another one I need to put on my list then.
Yeah.
Standard Person says, fun show. Thanks, Jose. Thanks, everyone. Make mine Silverline. Thank you, Standard Person, for hanging out with us.
It's been great having
you. Who Standard Person is.
Yeah, I don't know who Standard Person is. They're
Give us a clue, Standard Person. Who are you?
All right. Well, anything else, Tommy, Roberta, Tom? Y'all got anything? Any news?
No, this has been a blast. I really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate Jose coming out.
Yes,
I do too.
Happy to hear his story.
Thanks for being patient with me. All those messages I sent you. Can you come here?
Not a problem.
All right, y'all. On Tuesday, a Silverline show on Tuesday talks about self-publishing floppies versus trades. A panel of professional comics creators discuss the benefits of publishing comics as floppies or as trade paperbacks. Is there a right answer for your book? Let's find out. That's on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you like it? It's yours. The Weimers discuss which character or team from another publisher they would choose for either a crossover or permanent integration and why said character is the chosen one. Weimers and any other guests without permanent titles will share which characters they would love to have crossover with their favorite Silverline titles and why. That is on Wednesday. And next week, Tom has decided that he is going to interview me, and we're going to talk about my new novel, which I don't have on hand at the moment, but I will have next week. So I will answer all questions about my new novel.
What's the title?
Can you see it? Oh, you can't see it. No.
Put it in front of your face.
Put it in front of your face.
Put it in front of my face.
Oh, it's not coming through. There it is.
There it is.
Look at it.
Yeah.
There we go.
There it is. No,
Sorry,
this is
Oh,
second.
sorry that was so hard.
So that is next week. Jose, hang out if you can. Hang out a few minutes after after the thing, and we'll chat a little bit. Thank you all for hanging out with us. And remember, until next time, remember to make mine Silverline. Good night, everyone.
Hey, this is Paul Pelletier. Make mine Silverline. Is that okay, Roland?